This is Shadow's Enigma, Bruce, giving you a YouTube video in discussing Cold War and mainly Cold War. But also, I want to mention a few things about Diablo 2 Resurrected that's coming out the console. But first, let's get to the Cold War business. Okay, here lately, Cold War has been an awesome experience, except for, the same gun metas as the Mach 10, the LCD 10, the quick scoping, the stoners, the basically all the OP guns that need to be nerfed, which I already understand what's going to happen is they're going to nerf most of these guns, and then people are just going to move on to the next best gun and just use that. Um, Basically, what I'm trying to say is the biggest problem of all is quickscoping. Quickscoping is far too easy. It's a really big pain in the ass. Especially for people who are just trying to go for camos and trying to get their stuff done. Like, for example, people are just trying to get, for myself, DM Ultra. Some people already have it. But the biggest pain is the fact that people are running around with snipers, quick scoping, when they already have diamond camo. They really don't need to be using that class anymore. And they're just using the class to be, well, douchebags about it. And to be quite honest, that needs a nerf along with all the other guns that have been mentioned. Um, Maybe there's more nerfs than that. Hopefully there is, because the main guns I'm tired of seeing is Mach 10s, LCD 10s, and every single quickscoping sniper except the M82. The M82 is actually not very used. It's not used very often, and a lot of people are still using the little bolt action snipers that obviously one shot. Another big problem is people from Warzone that have been cheating in Warzone are starting to come into Cold War, and that's another problem. I'm not saying I'm a saint, because people talk smack on also on Cold War. I talk smack sometimes. Basically just mainly complaining about certain stuff that I know is broken and that should be handled and whatnot. It's really freaking annoying. But as long as people acknowledge the fact that these guns are broken, it's not so bad. But then it's like, okay, you admit it, they're broken. They're going to be nerfed. That they need a nerf, and I can't get mad at you for that. But if the people out there that are saying, "Oh, quick scoping is the best thing in the game. Quick scoping is the number one thing in the game, and if you can't do it, then you're not good." And it's like, well, here's the thing. Really, all quick scoping is zoom out, point and click. Or zoom out, point and shoot. It's really that easy. It's that easy. That easy. And if you're not good at it at first, all it takes is a few games. And then you're going to start smoking people, and people are going to get mad at you because you're the one doing it. So I mean, like, why do something that I know that's going to piss me off, and it's going to piss other people off? Okay. As far as the crossbow is concerned, I have to say the crossbow is more skillful to use than the sniper. I mean, to be honest, at close range, not so much. But the longer the range, the more skill it takes. And not only that, I mean, a sniper, you could just mainly point and shoot. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to hit your bullet, and you're going to get a kill. With the crossbow, it's a heck of a lot more difficult, because the farther they are, the more you got to arch your crossbow up. Not only that, you also have to lead your target. So it's way more skillful than just quick scoping. Okay? The only way you're going to know this for a fact is two ways. Is you either, one, take the advice that's given to you and listen to the person that's actually saying, no, the crossbow takes more skill, whether you want to believe it or not. Or two, you pick up a crossbow yourself and just see how difficult it is. Point blank, yeah, it's easy. Like, if you're close to mid-range, like closer to short-range, mid-range than actual mid-range, then it's going to be easy. Because really, it's just point and shoot. You don't have to actually aim your crossbow if you choose not to. You can just pull the trigger. Now, when it comes to the longer range, from like actual mid-range to long range, that's when you start to see the difficulty in the crossbow, because you have to lead your target and you have to angle your crossbow just right to hit the shot. Okay? It's definitely way more skillful to crossbow than it is to quick scope. The only downside to quick scoping is close range, and even then, people could just get in your face and pull the trigger and claim, "Oh, well, you're bad because I no scoped you at point blank range." And it's like, man, yeah. And this is the experiences that I go through on a daily basis. Just so you know, this is where all this content stuff is created because it's the shit that I deal with on consoles, and I actually put it into a video when I get to the point where I don't think I could take it anymore, and there's something that these companies need to do something about. Okay, now when it comes to that, crossbow is better. Crossbow is definitely better than a sniper. It takes more skill to crossbow than it does to snipe. I don't care what anybody says. Like, I've done both, and it's far harder to crossbow at a long range distance, mid to long range, than quick scoping will ever be. Okay. Now, as far as and pistols are also getting a nerf too. I forgot about that. Pistols are getting a nerf, which they should have gotten the nerf anyway because they're pistols for a reason. They shouldn't be able to easily outgun SMGs, ARs, LMGs, stuff like that. Shotguns. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to pull out a freaking pistol and two-shot somebody or three-shot somebody, depending on the pistol and attachment. It's ridiculous. Okay, don't even get me started on that. Okay, now as far as game modes, they need to make going into zombies. Well, before going to zombies, I should say. They need to bring back the gunfight knife 3v3. That was fun. I enjoyed every minute of that. It was really fun to challenge people who are meleeing and trying to out melee each other. And most of the lobbies, everybody was chill about it. Everybody was chill in it most of the time. But then, on rare occasion, you get these assholes who want to talk shit because they think they're all that in a bag of potato chips when really they're nothing. And not only that, it teaches people how to knife, when to knife, how to throw a throw axe, when to throw a throw axe, reaction time for those to particular moments. It was just all out fun. Okay, it's better to have the knife 3v3 gunfight than it is to run around with a bunch of guns with people with their head chickens with their heads cut off kind of thing. And it was more fun with the knives. Going into zombies, Outbreak is really getting dull. Once you get all your stuff max to tier 5, all your perks, all your weapon classes, all your gun classes, all your specialist stuff, there's really not much you could do. I mean, you can help other people get to that point, but other than that, it's strictly for fun. I'm not saying that they really are going to add Perkaholic into the game, but they really need to strongly consider that, because if they decide not to add Perkaholic in zombies in Cold War, then most likely what's going to happen is I'm going to go back to Infinite Warfare and just play Infinite Warfare, because if I'm going to do Easter eggs, then I may as well get something from it. And that's what Infinite Warfare did. That's the first zombies that Infinity War did, and they did it right on the first try. But let's be real here. The multiplayer for Infinite Warfare was doo doo a little bit, but yeah. So going back to Cold War, they need more content. They need more. They need to come out with more content. If you're not gonna have Outbreak done, really soon, then at least add another map with an Easter egg that's linked to it, or like bring back Kino Dutoten, or whatever. Do something that's gonna benefit the community there, rather than let's just have the same old maps and just add new guns and shit. And if people want to play zombies, they can. No, there needs to be Perkaholic. There needs to be new maps. There needs to be Outbreak balancing. here's an idea. Instead of having the 5 initial, um, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in the last video, the 5 basic tiers, which would be ultra or custom that you start with, and then you go to uncommon, rare, epic, legendary. Maybe add the last one as like a wonder weapon tier or exotic tier or whatever you want to call it. You could call it Superman tier for all I care. But the fact is there needs to be that one more tier that, especially if you're gonna have outbreak, because you're gonna want to have guns that actually do stuff. Because the later rounds, I mean, there's people out there that have done shit and made it to round 100 or whatever, or talked about it at least and got pretty close. But there's people out there that just don't have that ability and have that skill to get that far, and it would help them get to that point. And then for the whatever the last tier is, added something special to it, like something not exactly like the Ray K, not exactly like the Ray Gun, but something that would benefit those extra. The extra stuff, like whatever ammo mod you have equipped it, and that tier, it does something special. That's all up to Treyarch if they want to take that idea and use it. Hopefully they do. For like the major later rounds on down the road and whatnot. Another thing that they need to add is when you go to a chest, in any chest in Outbreak, you see a little screen, and it'll go, and it's a smiley face, and it'll go green, blue, then purple and legendary. It might switch the order around there a little bit, but what they need to add for that, unless they already did it, then what they need to put in there is whatever that little square screen is, you either get that color of stuff, or you get a very good chance of getting that colored item of whatever it is. But legendary would also have the chance to bring out a wonder weapon, for percentage chance or whatever. That's something they need to implement. Another thing they need to implement in Outbreak is like an Easter egg. Like, come on, like, they're working on it. I get that they're working on it. But there needs to be something more there. There needs to be something to keep the community occupied more than just, let's wait and, play zombies or play Cold War, I guess, play multiplayer or whatever. Especially when multiplayer's getting under my skin, and it might be getting under other people's skin as well. But yeah, that's my little conversation of Cold War. The last thing I want to talk about for the last minute and 20 seconds or so is Diablo 2 Resurrected. And when it comes to Diablo 2 Resurrected, means that they're remaking Diablo 2 and bringing it to console for the first time, along with PC, with upgraded graphics and possibly some new stuff. The only thing I really hope to get out of the game is just the updated graphics, and adding a few new ruin words, and just making a bigger inventory, and maybe possibly a separate charm inventory. And that's it. Like, that's the only changes I'm asking for. Like, that's all I want. I don't want anything broken. I don't want anything, like, point to where it's too easy to play. But those things I seem like are well balanced for a brand new game that's being remastered and kind of resurrected in a way. Pun there, yeah. So, like, yeah, I mean, but once Diablo 2 hits, I probably wouldn't even think twice about playing Cold War. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little conversation. If you disagree or agree, leave a comment, like, subscribe if you haven't.